It's tough when our favorite shows go through big changes, and for fans of Chicago Fire, the latest news feels like a real gut punch. We've all invested so much in the brave folks of Firehouse 51, watching them battle blazes and personal demons, so when key characters start to disappear, it truly stings. And let's be honest, the recent series of departures has left many of us scratching our heads and feeling a little, well, frustrated. The unsettling exodus from Firehouse 51. Chicago Fire has always been a show that keeps us on our toes, but the recent wave of cast exits feels different. We're not just talking about one or two goodbyes. It's a trio of departures that has left a noticeable void. Just when we thought we had a handle on the Firehouse 51 family, we're suddenly saying farewell to not one, not two, but three familiar faces. It's enough to make any devoted viewer wonder what's going on behind the scenes. Remember when we heard about Jake Lockett, Sam Carver, and Daniel Keary, Darren Ritter, making their exits? That news, attributed to those dreaded budget cuts, was already a lot to take in. It made us brace ourselves for more potential goodbyes across the entire One Chicago universe. But then, an unexpected twist arrived, adding another layer to the already complex situation. The latest surprise departure, Michael Bradway. Just when we thought we had prepared ourselves, news broke that Michael Bradway, who brought Jack Damon to life as Kelly Severide's half-brother, is also stepping away from Chicago Fire. This one felt particularly sudden. Unlike the earlier departures, Bradway's exit isn't due to budget constraints, but rather a scheduling conflict. He's been cast as Charlie Florrick in Prime Video's adaptation of Carly Fortune's beloved romance novel, Every Summer After, now titled Every Year After. Production for Every Year After is already in full swing, meaning Bradway simply won't be available to film the upcoming Chicago Fire episodes. It's a bittersweet pill to swallow. While we're thrilled for Michael and this new chapter in his career, it means we're losing yet another important part of Firehouse 51 as we head into Season 14. This kind of news can really throw you off balance, especially when you're deeply invested in the stories and characters. The Season 13 final. A missed opportunity for closure. What makes Bradway's departure, and indeed the others, even more frustrating is how little the Chicago Fire Season 13 finale did to prepare us for these goodbyes. Jack Damon, despite his familial connection to Severide, had a surprisingly minimal role in the final. There was no real setup, no significant moments that hinted at his impending departure. His fate in Season 14 is now completely up in the air, leaving us with a sense of unfinished business. It's entirely possible the writers weren't aware of Bradway's departure when they crafted the final. But regardless, the lack of closure is truly disappointing. It means that when Season 14 rolls around, Damon will likely be written out off-screen, much like Carver and Ritter. Think about Ritter, for instance. He was barely present in the Season 13 final, with no indication whatsoever that he was leaving. If you hadn't heard about Daniel Keary's exit through the grapevine, you'd fully expect Ritter to be back for Season 14. And then there's Carver, who, despite his plans to move to Denver, ended the finale by declaring his feelings for Violet Mikami and sharing a kiss. It was a beautiful moment, but one that now feels bittersweet given his announced departure. The truth is, the Chicago Fire Season 13 finale left us with more questions than answers regarding these key characters. For Carver, Ritter, and Damon, all integral parts of the Firehouse 51 family, their exits deserve more than just a passing comment or an off-screen explanation. They've played significant roles, and we, as viewers, deserve to see their stories conclude with the respect and care they've earned. Crafting a respectful farewell for Damon. So, what's next for the Chicago Fire writers? They've got a real challenge on their hands. How do they give Jack Damon a proper send-off without Michael Bradway on set? The last thing anyone wants is a disrespectful or abrupt exit. One thing is clear, killing Damon off would be a terrible idea. Severide has already been through so much, and with a child on the way, he certainly doesn't need that kind of heartbreak. and bringing him back just to have him fired from Firehouse 51 again feels redundant and a bit too on the nose. The most probable, albeit somewhat uninspired, explanation for Damon's departure would be a transfer to another fire station. Perhaps his budding romance with Lizzie Novick didn't pan out, prompting him to seek a change of scenery. Or maybe a fantastic job opportunity simply came his way. It's a plausible way to write him out without closing the door completely on a potential return.